All right, guys, welcome to another installment of Culture by the Uncultured. We are your host, DJ, Sam, Sunny, and Taylor B. Our other host, Daniel, couldn't be here with us today, but just to let you guys know, he's going to be a permanent part of the show. And I also want to give a special shout out to Sunny because obviously she's been gone and she's back now. I didn't say anything last week and I felt kind of bad for that. So to clear my guilty conscience, welcome back, Sunny. Yay. Applause. All right, guys, today...
just fuck Sam, right?
in.
He's been gone for like 3 weeks, too.
It's okay, because, Taylor's supposed to be one of my good friends, right? We play games together. We were in the army
back,
together.
Sam.
Taylor literally messaged me once, like, hey, bro, how you doing? How's your hip? And that was it.
What's your hip? How is your hip, by the way?
How's
that whole process?
But did you die, though?
You know what? That first day after the medicine had wore off, I kind of wish I did die.
Oh, man.
That shit was... I try to get up... Like, my bed is like a good 3 feet off the ground. And I, totally forgot that I can't use my right hip. And I just jumped out that motherfucker. Or that day I had texted y'all and told y'all there was a insect crawling around on the ground. I had a 10-second window of hate-free pain.
Oh my gosh.
I felt nothing. As soon as I killed the damn thing, it was like, hey, bro, how the fuck you gonna get off the ground now?
Oh, shit, I'm gonna have to re-break your shit just to get back up.
I still can't take a shit and stand up off the toilet. Man. Perfectly fine. That shit takes forever.
Would it help if you got a squatty potty?
Wow.
Sonny's been trying to get me a squatty potty for the past 2 years.
I have.
I want one of those, no lie, because I just want to see if it actually works or not.
Sam takes forever on the toilet, so I'm like, you need one.
I mean, you've taken a shit. You've taken a shit in the field, right?
No, actually, I usually
what?
The only time I've ever had to take a shit in the field was there was a porta-john there, so I was like, all right, cool, I'll just go in here.
You spoiled ass.
Wow, you hold it?
I don't.
Wow.
I didn't even get naked when I went to the field.
Wow.
Not even once.
What are you, in the Air Force or some shit?
Wow. I have this thing about bugs, so I never wanted to take my stuff off. So I think I changed my my undershirt once the whole time I was out in the field.
That is disgusting.
You're filthy.
Said you're filthy.
Are you worried about them crawling up your ass or something?
Yes, ticks and all that, bro. When we got back to the bees, bro, I was spreading my cheeks open, yo, is there anything in there?
Can you check my armpit? What the fuck kind of weird fear is it?
Honestly,
everybody was telling me that you're gonna get a tick on you for sure. Dude, I had 2 or 3 cans of DEET spray, sprayed it all around my tent, made a little moat around it, sprayed it all in there, sprayed it all on the ground of the tent. I dug out all the leaves that were underneath, just bare ground. I was not playing with bugs. I don't fuck with bugs.
So you never used a wag bag? You never had to dig your hole?
Okay, wait, you guys. Okay, so if you guys recall, last week we talked about mental health. So I think there's some kind of deep-rooted fear about bugs that we need to dissect, because clearly you have been traumatized with bugs before.
It is, but I don't think that's a topic for this episode.
I think this is a perfect fucking topic.
You can keep avoiding it, but eventually you'll have to address your fears.
You have to address.
Well, I know what my fear is. I know where it comes from. Because
next week's episode, Taylor's irrational fear of insects.
Taylor's childhood traumas.
Oh my God. Let's not.
Welcome to Psychology 105.
Where we psychoanalyze our friends and alienate them.
Yep.
And make them hate us.
Jesus Christ. Can we get on to the topics at hand? There's some music news that we got to talk about, I think. Right?
I guess.
I suppose. I mean,
okay.
I think talking about your fears would make a way better episode, honestly.
let's not do that. Let's say that for another time.
You know what? Actually, comment sections. If you want to hear us talk about Taylor's fears in life, let us know.
And childhood traumas.
And
adult traumas. And all teenage traumas. All of his traumas.
There's plenty of those going around. But okay, let's move on. Let's get the show on the road. And the first thing we're going to talk about is A$AP Rocky. I'm sure you guys are all aware he was found guilty. And what do you guys think about that, first and foremost?
Before we even start recording, I already told you what I thought about it. He should be in jail. That's what it is. That video, they beat the shit out of that dude.
It looked like he got stabbed up a little bit too. That was crazy.
Yo, my thing is, it's the same thing with the free who so and so shirts, right?
Even though he shot up a bunch of people and shot at cops.
Exactly. If he was wrongly convicted, like he did anything, yeah, free your homeboy, cool. But they got ASAP on camera beating somebody. That's not an injustice. It's an injustice he ain't going to jail, because if that was me, I would have been locked up.
Did they instigate the altercation, the other people, or did he?
What happened, or allegedly what happened, and A$AP Rocky tried to portray this on a video on Instagram that he posted. Some guys, I guess, were following them, and then they were like grabbing girls' butts and stuff on the way, like while they were following them. Then A$AP Rocky tried to tell them to get away from them. A$AP Rocky claims that a random group of girls, or like two girls or whatever, came and spoke the same language as them. They tried to tell them, hey, tell those guys to stop following us, please walk the other way. And in the video, there was like one of his security guards was like, hey, walk that way. We don't know you guys. We don't know why you're following us. Walk the other way. We don't want no problems. We don't want to fight or nothing. And then there was just another video, not from any of the party members there, I think from like somebody else, that A$AP Rocky and his crew were just beating the shit out of one of the guys. So, I mean, technically the other guys instigated it, in my opinion at least, but they just obviously went way overboard with like the beating that took place. That's all.
Gotcha.
You just got to calibrate some people, not whoop their ass.
Like smack him in the head a couple times. Because like one of the guys, I think like one of the first things that supposedly happened was one of the security guards got like a pair of headphones thrown at him, and then like the guy like threw the headphones at the security guard and they broke. And then like he was all pissed, and like I guess the guy was like wanted his headphones back or something. I don't know, but he was convicted, so obviously he did something wrong.
I'm tired of just seeing people with money get convicted of shit and not even have to just serve jail time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. Just go ahead and pay this $10,000 fine that is like a day's spending for you. Like you're not gonna miss it at all.
For real.
That's probably like a month's worth of royalties for them. Let's be fucking honest.
Yeah. I mean, we also, like, before the podcast started, we talked about the whole thing with Future and his bodyguard too, and how Future was just like, I'm gone. I'm not indulging in that. I'm not messing with that.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. And that was the thing that I feel like A$AP Rocky like really didn't understand, was that like, you got security right here. It is their job to make sure nothing happens to you. And if something happens to you, fire their asses. I don't give a fuck if they're your homeboys or whoever. He should have never been in a position, especially if they're your homeboys, as hired security, whoever the hell they are. He should have never been in the position where he was that close to somebody else, and your job is to keep him away from any harm or from any kind of negativity or like confrontation or anything like that. That was a situation he should have just never been in. And if he has those same bodyguards still, I'm surprised, because I would have got rid of their ass. Like if y'all was doing your fucking job, I wouldn't be in this position right now. I should not be in this position.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I feel about the young NFL player that got in trouble for pushing a girl.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, why don't you let your friends handle it? Like
which one? All of
it
them
didn't
were
make
doing
any
that.
sense.
In the I know, seriously.
I have no idea. The one that there was a video of.
Yeah. One of his friends, I think, tried to get in the way, and then like he like bulldozed through him and like to hit the girl or whatever. And I'm just like, oh my god, you're in a hotel. You're in a hotel, sir.
When you're an NFL player, it's kind of hard to like keep them back,
Yeah, pretty strong guys,
especially at halfback. He's used to pushing around 300-pound men.
Yeah.
That's just what he does for a fucking living. So I understand.
You shouldn't have pushed them at all, but I mean, it's like there's all these other people there. Like
I think
you
it's
have
a common sense factor. Like, hey, my career is not worth like this bullshit.
Yeah.
Especially at halfback, you got what? I mean, outside of Adrian Peterson, usually by 30, it's time for you to get up out the game. So you got at least a good 6 to 8 year career. Why cut it even shorter?
By doing something stupid.
Over something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just like celebrities, especially like younger celebrities. I mean, A$AP Rocky's 30, but I mean that's not old. But
yeah, you're 30.
Wow, I'm not 30. But these guys got to definitely like kind of get level heads and understand like, and especially for somebody like A$AP Rocky, who like, I know people were trying to use this against him. He had a thing during the Ferguson time where he was like, I can't relate to that. I didn't sign up to be like a leader or whatever. I'm here to rap. And I'm out here, you know, in these bitches' draws, fucking models, you know, I got money, I live in Soho and all that stuff. And it's like, so if that's who you are, or that's who you're claiming to relate with, to like, you know, the life of leisure, then why put yourself in a position where you got to fight somebody? Like, I get where you came from. I understand all that. But you're saying that you don't relate to that stuff anymore. So why would you feel the need to put yourself in that situation or put yourself there?
Because you're getting soft.
And it sucks because I feel like after this whole situation, he's probably going to come out and have like a, you know, change of light or whatever, or change of heart, and really talk about that. And then it's okay because, you know, people change, especially if you're like quote unquote traumatic experiences. But I mean, I don't know if we'll ever find out if that was really the supposed stuff, like that his neighbor had like was like throwing feces and stuff. It stunk in there. The conditions were terrible. He was like only eating apples because the food wasn't edible and stuff like that. Like I don't know about all that for Sweden, but I mean, Midsommar was also in Sweden, and that place was crazy as fuck. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. Just, you know, young rappers got to get, you know, level heads and stop doing the dumb shit like fighting people for no reason when they have bodyguards and all kinds of people around them. I mean, I feel like that's why people like Kodak Black, you know, like he's got guns. A lot of rappers got guns and carry guns, even if they're illegal or whatever, you know. And it's because, like, at the end of the day, maybe some of these guys are hiring guys that they can't trust, or maybe they're just too scared and they're just like, man, I can't trust nobody with this. Like, you got to go home to your family too. Like, I'm supposed to make sure, you're supposed to make sure I'm okay. But if 30 people come rushing at you, you going to stop all of them? Hell no. But this fucking 45 will, you know, like, I don't know though.
I do want to interject I hope you're not calling A$AP Rocky a young rapper.
Well, I mean, because he's 30?
He's older than all of us.
But he's older than me by 2 years.
Yeah, and you're old as shit.
I'm not old. I am still
How does that
young.
make you feel, DJ?
I am still spry. My knees sometimes, but that's
that
it.
does not count as a young rapper or like a young man.
I feel like it's debatable. I feel like you're not old until you're like 35.
He's a full-grown adult.
Well,
At 30, you are a full-grown adult.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's a boy or nothing like that by any means.
A young man, he is not. He is a man.
All right. Let's say this, and hopefully we can leave it at this. A$AP Rocky's 30. He's been in the game for a while. He knows what he can and what he can't do.
That's true.
He know that he should not have joined in the festivities of beating down this individual. And the fact that he is not in jail is an injustice in itself.
Agreed.
So he knew
the
festivities, yes, because if you haven't watched that video, they look like they were thoroughly enjoying that beatdown. But he's old enough to know good from bad. He's old enough to know just to let my bodyguards deal with this shit. You know, I shouldn't get my hands dirty.
For sure.
There was no need for it.
He pays him. Yeah. He pays him for a reason.
Yeah. There was no need for it at all.
I agree.
Can we agree that like he's at fault, and then that's just it? He's just at fault.
I mean, I can see that. I can say I wholeheartedly agree. Yes, he's at fault. But I think it's kind of like trying to do that image, you know, to personify that image that whenever you're a rapper, you got to be hard. You got to be down with your set. You got to whoop some people's ass every now and then. You can't let people talk shit about you. So whenever stuff like that happens, I mean, unfortunately, it gets to their head and they're like, well, I gotta put some respect on my own name, tell everyone not to fuck with me, and then they start acting out of line, you know? It doesn't need to happen.
Well, I think for that one, if this was Ferg in the headline for beating somebody's ass like that, I'd be like, okay, it's A$AP Ferg. Like his flow, his style, I can see it, you know? But it was A$AP Rocky, and his music lately isn't very rough.
I feel like A$AP Ferg is smarter than A$AP Rocky personally. But I mean,
but I'm just saying, like, style-wise, music style-wise.
Yeah.
A$AP Rocky is not as rough.
Based off history right now, it seems like you're right with that statement.
Well, and I guess, who knows what exactly the other guys were saying or exactly doing. So
for sure,
it could have been really provoking.
But, you know, in the words of Taylor, do y'all think A$AP was slipping on semen this time in jail?
Wow.
No. Absolutely not.
Why would you ask that? What is wrong with you?
It's because A$AP Rocky told a story on the radio with him and A$AP Ferg where he was telling a story about him fighting in prison because he went to Rikers Island for like 2 weeks or something like that. He was there for a short amount of time, and he was like, "Well, we was fighting in there, blah blah, niggas slipping on semen and stuff," and it's like that was like the most outlandish thing to hear, like. why would you be slipping on semen? Like, I get you're fighting in the
Slipping
shower.
or sipping? What are we saying?
You're what?
Slipping or sipping?
Slipping. Falling.
Oh
Okay.
my God. Let's
Make
not be sipping on that, please.
If he said he was sipping on semen, I'd be like,
That's what I thought you said in the first place. That's why I was like, what the fuck are we talking about?
You gotta
It's
enunciate,
I've heard
Brandon.
some.
I mean, it's still gross the other way. I mean, but a little less.
Well, the thing is, I met gay gangsters before, but
That's crazy. That's wild.
I don't think like any mainstream artist has ever came out and said some shit like that. That would be interesting.
Oh God,
That's hella crazy. All right, let's move on to the next one. Jay-Z and his NFL partnership. This was announced a couple of days ago. Obviously, there's been some pretty big controversy, considering that some people think basically that essentially some people think that Jay-Z's Uncle Tom. What are you guys' thoughts and opinions on Jay-Z's new and upcoming NFL partnership?
I'll kind of lead off a little bit with this one. I mean, I wouldn't want to say he's an Uncle Tom or anything, but I definitely would think that it's actually pretty good for the NFL as a whole. Because right now, if you look at the NFL, most of the ownership is owned by, I mean, regardless of how you see it, old white dudes that have had these. Yeah. They've had these. Like, the Chargers have been owned by the Spanos family for generations upon generations. I mean, it keeps on getting passed on to their kids. I think it needs to, some of these teams definitely need new owners and new kind of joint partnerships to be able to broaden their outlook. Because, I mean, you got to look at it for Jay-Z. I mean, with him in Brooklyn, obviously the Nets, you want to see how he might try to do it for, let's say, the Giants or the Jets, whichever he does attempt to acquire, or whatever team that might be in general. Ultimately, I mean, if it's the Giants, they can't really get any more publicity because they're one of the biggest teams in the NFL, just being from New York. Think of it like the Jets. They can get a lot more publicity, a lot more people are going to be looking at that team from a player's perspective and be like, oh, well, Jay-Z owns that team. It's just kind of something else to reel players in, you know? I just think it'll spark an opportunity for more people to attempt to purchase stock in NFL teams and get it in a new direction, you know?
Mm-hmm. Okay, my thing is, one, I hate the term Uncle Tom. I do, because, you could say whatever. He was obedient to white men the whole time.
Yeah.
But let's not forget, Uncle Tom literally was beaten to death by his master because he did not give up the position of 2 African female slaves that ran away.
Mm-hmm.
So you can say, yes, so obedient, but at the end of the day, he was martyred because he didn't give up the other slaves. But as for Jay-Z with his money buying or partnering with the NFL, everyone's like, oh, he just did a disservice to Kaepernick. He spit in Kaepernick's face, blah, blah, blah. One, he's, think a billionaire, right?
Yes.
What person with millions and billions of billions would not take the opportunity to make more money? Like, realistically, a money grab's a money grab. People are there to set their wealth. And the Brooklyn Nets, he already has a partnership with, right?
Yeah.
So, there's 2 things he wants: music and entertainment and sports. So if the chance for him to get a sports team comes up and he has the money to do so, he's going to do it.
Definitely.
Oh, and secondly, that's someone at the table that looks like minorities. So you can say what you want. Oh, he's spitting in your face. People are just mad because it has nothing to do with Kaepernick.
I think it's interesting, too, because he came out and kind of addressed all the criticism. I don't know if it was on a talk show or an interview or something, but I know he mentioned that basically, like, it was never about Kaepernick. It was about, like, Kaepernick kneeled because of social injustice. He didn't start kneeling because of a job. He started kneeling because of social injustice.
Yeah.
So, like, JC basically, was saying that it's bigger than Kaepernick. And I think it is very important to note that with this deal, and kind of like you guys have both said, it gives him an important role as somebody who's already spoke about injustice and is kind of trying to, like, help, like, little black and brown boys and girls, like, grow and be, more involved in business and things like that. He's making a good point to become a good role model for for kids and for, young adults and things like that, And I think it is also important to note that once you get a seat at the table, it's something that helps to inspire change, even though, like, that's what the NFL supposedly wants. They want to inspire change, their initiative. And I think that's actually the initiative between the NFL and the Players Coalition. So this is happening. Jay-Z's getting involved now. So now hopefully we have a push towards seeing that social injustice and, like, in the NFL amongst players and ownerships and stuff is analyzed and talked about and brought to the forefront. We see other minorities made and turned into co-owners of NFL teams. We make sure that, players aren't getting mistreated, especially black players, because, they're the majority of that are out there, but, there's barely any owners or anything like that, So hopefully we see that turnaround with Jay-Z's addition. And of course, obviously we'll see some great musical acts, because I think that's also part of the deal. I know like he's going to be in charge of like finding the artist for Super Bowl. That stuff's cool too. And then in the future, if Jay-Z owns, an NFL team, that's freaking awesome, dude. Like it's a win, and it's a step in the right direction for the NFL, and it's a step in the right direction for the culture. Cause I mean, shit, this guy is showing you like you can make change. You just got to make it happen, like be dedicated, get to work, stack your money up, get involved in business, and, make it work for you. But, nobody wants to hear all that, though. They just want to be like, oh, Colin didn't get his job back, so nobody should be trying to be in the NFL. Nobody should be trying to, partner with them or nothing, especially somebody who quote unquote supposedly supports, black causes and, like the social injustice and all that stuff. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just a guy in a chair.
Some people's issues is that the NFL owner, Robert Kraft, who has donated to Trump, was a role in that deal. And I think him and Jay-Z, I think have a friendship. So I think that's where a lot of people get that kind of thinking that he's selling out or whatever.
They were both involved in helping Meek Mill get out of jail. So I'm almost certain that Robert Kraft and Jay-Z have some sort of friendship. But I feel like it's different when it comes to terms of business, because I still have never actually looked into why Robert Kraft wanted to get Meek Mill out of prison, when he was in there this last time. Yeah. I'm sure it's something business related, but I feel like when guys like that, they have these businesses, like you need those partnerships for whatever reason, for whatever gain. Like, I don't think that Jay-Z is just friends with Robert Kraft for the sake of being friends with Robert Kraft. Yeah, there's probably things that he has or connections that he has that he would like to utilize.
You ever heard the term lions don't concern themselves with the business of sheep?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that, but that sounds interesting though.
So this is what the saying means, right? People high on their pedestal, a lion, someone of power, fame, fortune, whatever you want to say, they don't concern themselves with people like me, you say.
Yes, that's true.
Why? Because we don't affect shit that goes on in their life.
Mm-hmm.
I could sit here and talk shit about Jay-Z all day long if I really wanted to. And what is that going to change? Nada. People are going to buy his music no matter what you say. Dudes in their 40s and 50s still going to wear Rockaware. It's what it is.
Wow.
People are going to throw up the fucking Dynasty sign whenever they hear him.
Isn't it interesting that while lions do not concern themselves with the affairs of the sheep, but the sheep are sitting here concerning ourselves with the affairs of the
Well, that's what I was trying to get off on Jay.
Which is important. I think it's important.
Yeah, that's what I always said. It's like, I don't give a fuck what they do, because it doesn't concern me.
No, you should though.
Unless it's like Congress making a new law that's going to directly affect me. I don't care what Jay-Z does with his money. If he wants to go purchase an NFL team, let him purchase an NFL team. I have no stock or stake in the NFL. I just watch it as entertainment.
Yeah.
That's not going to directly affect me. How does that directly affect me?
Giving money to rich and powerful people who are possibly working against you affects you. But, whatever. It gets really deep, and you have to
how
know.
Is the NFL going to affect me?
When you watch it and they get ad revenue, it goes to whatever owners, and some of these owners are supporting possibly candidates that you do not like.
And if it came out that they were supporting people that are going to work against me, I would stop supporting them.
Okay, so like I just said, Robert Kraft, who donated to President Trump, the Miami Dolphins owner is now going to be hosting a Trump fundraiser. So are you going to stop watching the NFL? Because I would bet that they split the revenue.
I don't support either one of those teams. So unless Miss Gleason come out and say, I don't like any of the black people that work for me, and I'm going to support someone who's openly racist. If she says that shit, I'll stop supporting the Saints as long as she's head.
But listen.
But why am I going to concern myself with what Jay-Z does? Why does it matter?
I'm just talking NFL overall. Like, I'm pretty sure ad revenue is probably dispersed to all the teams. So when you watch anything, it's going to them.
I feel like it kind of goes both ways now too, because kind of like the saying in general. So like, I definitely understand what you're saying, but I feel like in this day and age, like with everything being so like at your fingertips, and like celebrities are on their phones all day too, I'm sure, when they're not doing whatever their craft is, like rapping or acting or whatever that, the case may be, but on their breaks, when they're driving or when they're being driven around, I should say, things like that. They're on their phones. Like, you can see now, like, more than ever, at least, like in the 90s and the early 2000s, it was not that prevalent, but nowadays you can write something to someone, like a famous person, and there's a good chance that they'll reply or basically give you some kind of like, basically give you the wherewithal that your voice was heard by them, whether it's negative or a positive, whatever the case may be. And then also, when that happens, like, you'll see that happen all the time. They're like, people have like breakdowns, they're stressed out, they'll retweet what somebody said and be like, oh no, fuck that, because I was working this hard and y'all weren't talking that shit before, like, because somebody said like, oh, your album sucks, and then now that person is, throwing a tire, like, man, my album's only been out for 2 hours. Why are you even talking about it, bro? Like, let the music resonate or something, like, give it a chance, stuff like that. But also, to kind of caveat of what Sonny was saying, the same thing can kind of be said for all, like, there was a list that came out of like a bunch of like fast food places that are going to be like supporting Trump or whatever. And on another podcast that I listened to, they mentioned that, like, even if this business specifically is doing this, so like, let's say like you had the example of the Miami Dolphins supporting Trump or whatever, something like that, right? So let's say the Dolphins are associated with supporting Trump, but not every player on that team necessarily supports Trump. You know what I mean? Your favorite player could be on the Miami Dolphins, but like, and he don't support Trump. He's like, I'm just on this team. This is the team I'm on. Fine, whatever. This is his job. Are you going to stop supporting that player because the team is associated with that? Or are you going to still support your player because that's your favorite player and that's who you support? That's who you're trying to support. Sure, the money goes other places, not just to him, but it's kind of like I don't know, Yeah,
I know that. I mean, that's the question you should ask when people say, I'm not going to eat at Chick-fil-A. Like, not every person who works at Chick-fil-A is necessarily against gay people.
Yeah.
But, it just, people have to stand their moral ground eventually. We can't all think, oh, well, I can't make a difference, or, oh, I have to support the little guy. Because otherwise, they're not ever going to change if there's no demand for change. Well, if there's nothing.
I'm just going to say, I like to see Black people come up. This is Jay-Z coming up even more.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'm going to support the move.
Yeah, I'm not
going to hate on the move.
I think he shouldn't. I'm just saying in general, it's just something to think about.
I'm also saying some people's social standings of this is bad, this is evil is probably not going to affect his decision.
Yeah, more than likely not. I guarantee it's not. I mean, he's a calculated, well thought out man. So
yeah, I don't think any of us expect for him to give a shit what anyone else
exactly says. That's what I'm trying to get at. He doesn't.
So what? Then why the fuck are we talking about it?
Well, that was my whole point. Is why I talk about it. It's because you started like arguing.
But I guess we're done talking about it then, I guess.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to the next topic. I asked you guys to pick, your top 5 last week. Unfortunately, Daniel's not here, but I have his top 5 here with me, though.
Just throw it in the trash. He ain't here.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm already thinking about putting one of those albums in the trash tier. We're going to have our very first ever tier list, hopefully. We're going to go in order and just kind of give one of the albums that we think was the best of the best so far in the year 2019, and we're going to keep doing that until we're out of records or out of albums, excuse me. And then at the end we're just going to rank them all real quick and then show you guys what we think was the best of the best to the worst of the worst. DJ Kelton. All right, so I'll go first. The first album I want to talk about real quick is Igor by Tyler the Creator. I thought it was a really well-crafted album. I think he dropped it like 2 weeks, or he talked about it like a week or two before it came out. It was really great. A lot of songs on there I still listen to this day. The song Earthquake makes me appreciate Playboi Carti so much more, even though he's not saying so much. And I just love the album overall. The theme about love and falling out of love and trying to be friends and the maturity of it all. And even if it's supposed to be gay or whatever, I still think it's a great album and a great work of art, really. So Igor, that's my first little album. Next, Sonny?
I would say 'Cause I Love You by Lizzo, because it's fun, it's just creative, it's new, it's fresh, it's her as a person. She is new and fresh and she's different, and I really love and appreciate that. You got to support women, and she's just big, beautiful woman that I just love to see her succeed.
BBW. Wow.
Yep.
You said it. You just didn't say the acronym. You said it, though.
Yeah, but I feel like when you say BBW, then it kind of everybody goes to porn immediately. So
BBW is the second most searched porn in America.
Wow.
We're not here to talk about porn, you guys.
So just go next.
No, I know this because I saw a meme about it like last week.
Good to know. Good to know.
Anyway, Sam, what you got?
For my, what's it? Thank You Next, Ariana Grande.
Okay. I'm feeling it. I haven't heard the album yet, but you know what you like about it.
Well, it's just because it's like a pop album that's not overly pop. You know, it's not like I like Billie Eilish, but it's not sad. Like I'm gonna drink a beer and cry myself to sleep music.
Which is
not at all. And it's not like white girl go crazy pop, and it's just a well put together album, and the songs just like stay stuck in your head.
Nice.
Like I heard 7 Rings once, and it just won't go away.
I need to give it. I need to definitely give that album a listen once over, because I mean Ariana Grande is cool. I had a crush on her for a long time, but
it didn't work out.
No, didn't work out.
No, it didn't work out between us. You know
that breakup with your girlfriend.
Wow.
The first time I heard it made me laugh. The second time I heard it, I was like, wow, just put it all out there, huh? You're bored. You need something to do. More power to you.
All right, DJ, what you got?
So one of the things that came out a lot earlier in 2019, would probably be "Death Race for Love" by Juice WRLD. It's a pretty good album overall. When Juice WRLD first came out, obviously he came out with his big smash hit of "Lucid Dreams," "All Girls Are the Same." Those kind of blew up on the scene with his 2017 album. He sort of dropped a couple things, and then obviously "Death Race for Love" came out. A lot of people want to say that he was a snuff for the freshman list.
I agree.
I think we had a little conversation about why he would or wouldn't be on one of our earlier episodes. But overall, "Hear Me Calling," "Maze." There's a lot of good songs on that album. You got over 22 songs. It's good if you're in the mood for some chill vibes, basically. So I think it's a pretty good album.
Juice WRLD, one of the best freestylers in the game right now. Just gonna say it.
I also agree with that.
Just putting it out.
The next album I was gonna bring to the table is "Everything for Sale" by Boogie. It's his debut album. It's I think it's his, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I know he's in other projects, but I think this is his debut album, or like first studio album. But anyway, it's a great album. Lots of great songs. West Side Boogie. That's pretty much the sound. I guess that West Coast sound. He's got some really great little. I don't know if it's called a ballad or if it's just like, okay, specifically the song that I appreciate the most is "Skydive." That song is so beautiful to me, and like it really makes me just like, this might sound really gay. You guys remember this game Kingdom Hearts and the opening, and like, they're falling and he's like, his eyes are closed and everything, like he's asleep or something. That's literally what it makes me think of, like being asleep and then like also falling in love. I don't know. That song brings so many emotions to me. He's a hell of a rapper. I really can't wait to see what he has in store for the future. The album's great. You guys should check it out if you guys haven't already. Sunny?
My next two, I kind of couldn't pick between my favorite. It was between NF The Search and YBN Corday's The Lost Boy. Mainly why I couldn't pick is because I really like NF's message and I like his delivery for the most part, but I feel like his delivery kind of gets repetitive and he doesn't change it up too much. I think there were a few songs that were more slow, kind of pipe ballads also, but I thought YBN Corday had more potential and more variety in his work. So I will say I skimmed YBN Corday's, but I really liked his sound just a little bit more than NF's, but I don't know if I liked his message more.
I feel like that's why I picked him too, because the potential is definitely there. I love that.
Especially being he's young. Especially being his first album, it's really a speaking point on what he will be in the future.
For sure, absolutely. Sam?
I'm gonna go with the 7 EP.
Okay.
I like rap music. I like alternative music.
You got the horses in the back?
Yeah, got a couple of them. More like, Panini.
That is a great song. I saved that to my playlist recently.
That song has been playing on repeat forever on this damn radio. I love Panini, but oh my God, it's getting played out for me.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, but it's still a good song. He has a few. It was experimental. He was like, "Yo, look, I can cover all the ground I want to cover." And I think it also plays into, like I said before, where younger artists, you can tell that they're more open to different types of music, because now it's getting to the era of you're just not going to get picked on if you listen to alternative rock music either, because everybody knows these fucking songs.
For sure.
Even our parents probably will pull something out that you're like, you listen to this shit? Like I was having a conversation with my dad, and he brought up Smashing Pumpkins. And I was like, "What? That's surprising." But everyone has that feel of I wish it wasn't as bad to like this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Seven was like, I'm just gonna put it out there. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. And I respect it.
Facts.
To go after that, I'd like to say that. So yeah, I also had the same ideas for Lost Boy. I also did like The Search. Those are two albums that Sonny talked about earlier that I'd also highly recommend. The next one on my list specifically, I'd probably have to say, I know Daniel likes this one too, is Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. I've been a huge Logic fan ever since I heard him, and I actually heard of him from Taylor.
Hey, shout out to
Shout
Taylor.
out to Taylor. I kind of feel as though Logic has kind of been growing. I mean, I definitely liked all of his old stuff, and I liked his Sinatra vibe. But Confessions, it has a lot of highs. It has some lows, but I definitely can. It's definitely an album that I think I can hear almost like start to finish any day that I choose. I mean, title track Confessions is actually a really, really great song, and I mean that whole album. I remember when Keanu Reeves came out. When he dropped that as a single like 4 months ago, and I fucking loved it. So I'd say my next one would be Dangerous Mind.
For sure. I think my favorite tracks in there are Icy featuring Gucci Mane, which is like a fun track. And I think his song, what is it called? I'm the Man?
Yeah, I'm the Man. They actually just dropped that music video for Icy. I haven't seen it yet though.
Or it's Limitless. My bad. I don't know why I said I'm the Man. It's Limitless. Those are two really great songs. And I saw the Icy music video. That video was hilarious. He's creative with those videos. I like them. They're dope. They're fun. Next up for me, I probably will say I'm just gonna get into the Funhouse Mirror by Marlon Craft. I thought that album was super dope. I don't think that nearly as much people have heard like the rest of the albums that we talked about as much as people have heard of Funhouse Mirror. Marlon Craft is a relatively new artist. I think this is like his first major project. Definitely not his first project, but like this is his first one to get like. I think the music video he released for Gang was or Gang Shit is the first video he ever made that got 1 million views on YouTube. So he's definitely getting some exposure, blowing up more. I know he was talked about like on the Everyday Struggle. A lot of the songs on here are super great. Hate Me, Love Me interlude is super dope. Gang Shit, like I just said, it was kind of one of those like thought piece songs or think piece songs. He has a lot of great features on the album too. It's just a dope rapper overall from the East Coast, and I can't wait to see what he has in store for us in the future. And also, I was introduced to him because I won tickets to a Dizzy Wright concert, and I got 2 tickets to a Dizzy Wright concert, and I went with like 5 of my friends, and it was supposed to be Dizzy Wright and Joyner Lucas on a tour or whatever, right? For whatever reason, Joyner Lucas dropped out of the tour. I was super disappointed. And they're like, oh, Marlon Craft is joining us. He came out and I was like, well, we can still be here for Dizzy Wright. Or minutes before Marlon Craft came out on stage, a huge fight broke out with like this black guy and his girlfriend and with like 6, 7 white people. And he like Superman punched this chick. It was super wild and crazy. He did that because there was like 3 white girls jumping his girlfriend. It was super wild. Anyway, Marlon Craft came out. His DJ was also playing the drums. That was fucking crazy to me. I was like, you're doing a whole lot over there, sir. You got a computer, laptop right there. You playing the drums, doing all this. And, Marlon Craft was doing his thing, rapping. So he's dope. Check him out, guys. Check him out. Give him a chance. Give him a shot. You won't be disappointed. I promise you. Next album, Sonny.
I'll just say the Chance the Rapper, The Big Day. Ooh. I enjoyed that. I love Chance. He's cute. His voice is cute. I don't know. His music always gives me like feel good vibes. Like, and it's always usually not too negative for me. So I always enjoy hearing Chance rap.
Absolutely.
It was a good album. I thought there were plenty of good songs on there to choose from. So overall, I was satisfied with it.
Definitely. What say you next, Sam?
My troll album. My own shit. Wow. Mixed Kids Can Say Niggas Too.
Oh my God.
Look for that shit coming at you. It's not rapping, it's not singing, it's spoken word. It's a deep dive into the look on culture through the eyes of someone that doesn't fit in between 1 to 2. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting.
Like how 2 to 3 sides perceive you and treat you differently.
Mm-hmm. I like that. That sounds great.
Okay, but wait, what is this actually coming out?
It'll be out by October.
Nice.
Are you writing it?
Yeah, I need you to proofread.
Really?
Some stuff, yeah.
I didn't sign up for
DJ,
this.
what's your I don't know if we're at the end for the list or not, but do you have another one, DJ, before the one that starts with the letter R?
Yeah, I figured we wanted to save that for last.
Going off of what Sam was talking about, whenever it comes to looking to the future, I did want to give a shout out and obviously a kind of an honorable mention to ADHD, which will be coming out by Joyner Lucas. I know that he's been coming out with singles every couple of weeks, and so far it sounds amazing. It would easily jump up from it'd probably jump over almost all of my top 5 and probably be, I'd either place it at number 2 or number 1.
Oh, nice.
It would be my number 2.
Definitely listening to songs like fucking like ISIS and Broken Stupid. The songs are just well crafted, and me being into people that are lyrical miracles, it's a really good album.
For sure.
I think we all know what the next one is. Taylor, if you want to go ahead and start.
Well, before we do the big one, I just want to point out the ones that Daniel gave to me.
If you say Father of Assad, I'm leaving this podcast.
he said his top 5 was The Big Day was one of them by Chance the Rapper, so he kind of agreed with you, Sonny. Rapper Go to the League by 2 Chainz was one of his top 5. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind was the other one, and Father of Assad was one of them too.
So you're telling me that he said Father of Assad was the second best one on his list?
I don't think he said number 2 specifically. No, I'll just read them off because they're on the big list, but I don't remember specifically what he said or what he thought.
Next episode,
he had Father of Assad at number 4. That's where he had it at.
Next episode of Cultured by the Uncultured, Daniel and his mental health issues.
Yeah.
Who hurt him?
Okay, and then the last album that we're going to discuss, obviously, is Revenge of the Dreamers 3. I'm sure we can all agree that was a phenomenally well put together album. So many producers, so many artists. It never felt like too many hands in the cookie jar, nothing like that. It flowed together smoothly. In my opinion, it flowed together smoothly. There was plenty of vocals from various artists of different styles. He had young artists, he had older artists, he had some R&B on there. I thought it was beautiful, and I still listen to the album every day. Favorite track, Lambo Truck, Cause and Reason. That's my favorite track, but they're all great tracks though.
I'm just gonna say, yeah, they're all really good tracks. But at some point, I forgot which song it is. I need to listen to it. There are a few songs. It was like, yeah, there are too many hands.
Costa Rica.
Yeah, probably.
That's my only gripe on the whole album is Costa Rica.
It's like, I like all the artists, but I think some of them sound better separately.
Yeah.
Well, I think sometimes you want more than just like a tiny sample of them. You're like, well, I want more from you. I want to hear you and like get the full experience of that single artist.
JID,
and sometimes it feels like they're drowned
out. JID hopping on a track for like 20 seconds, like. No, that's the artist I want to hear.
Well, yeah,
a lot of.
That's true. He is also on like 5 or 6 of the songs.
Yeah, you got to look at it like Kendrick Lamar had a hook, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
And this is Kenny we talking about. I mean, he's one of the greater rappers of this generation. So I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
If they had a whole song dedicated to just J. Cole and Kendrick going back to back,
that would have been tight.
I think my heart would have exploded, but. I heard him, and I was like, oh, shit, here we go. Is he going to come in?
Nope.
Nope.
Or is he just doing the hook? Oh, that's the hook.
Just disappointing.
But no, I feel like it was literally like them trying to like run like across the hall to the next studio to get their little 10, 20, 30 seconds in, hop out, run back down the hall to another booth, and do the same shit all over again. You feel me?
For sure.
Yeah, but it kind of makes you want more, right? Like you're saying.
Yeah, it makes me want more.
You're saying that you listen to these 20-second snippets of JID, or well, let's be honest, J. Cole has like 30 minutes of time on this album, but you hear these little snippets of each artist, and it makes you want more. And that's what's awesome about this album, is that Revenge of the Dreamers can have all of these artists in it with all of these people that most of these people I've never heard of. I mean, obviously you have your big hitters when you hear about obviously JID and J. Cole, but whenever you're looking at it, like the thing that I really liked about this album is, yeah, it had a bunch of those tracks that you could just listen to, but I like that they didn't really it wasn't 100% like a serious album in some cases. Like you look at it, like
they had fun.
Costa Rica, as much shit as people give it, it's a funny song for me. Costa Rica's a funny song. Thinking about 1993, a play on weed smoking and how they're all just passing a blunt while freestyling. Some of these songs are just hilarious. Wells Fargo. I mean, you're gonna fucking pick up some fucking rifles and go rob a Wells Fargo. Yeah, it's an album that I absolutely love. I think it was well crafted.
For sure. All right, real quick. So now that we talked about all the albums, let's just get some rankings in here. I'm gonna go out here on a limb and say that Revenge of the Dreamers is probably an S, right? Since we all thought it was up there at least. What say you guys? I'm gonna say S.
I'll give it an A.
Y'all
hurting me now. Y'all hurting me.
I would definitely say out of my top 5, I would give it an S. I definitely would agree with that.
Okay.
Can you explain again? So we have S. A.
So everything
B,
and
C,
D
and
is
then
1 point, and then F is just trash, 0 points. So
all right, how about we just do like a grading scale, like the F to A?
But I just feel like, these are all our top 5, so how are we going to have an F except for DJ Khaled?
Because the rest of us might not vote the other one so high. There's probably not going to be a lot at the bottom, I assume.
So trash of the top 5. Trash of the top 15 song or albums we just put out.
DJ Khaled is like when the teacher walks by, slips your paper upside down. You flip that shit over and it says "See me after class."
Yo, oh my god!
This isn't fair though, because Daniel's not here to defend that album.
Part about it.
We'll give him a brief couple minutes.
That is his fault.
Defend the album. next.
I have a rule. It is omission equals submission. You aren't here, so you submit it to my bullshit.
Sure. He can talk about it next podcast.
So that's gonna average out to an S because it got a 4.5. So rounding up, yeah. So Igor, what do you guys say? I'm gonna give this an S too.
I think you're high.
You're high as fuck.
I love that song. I love that album, but I would not give it an S at all.
So what are you guys gonna say?
You might say I'm high too, but I'll give it a B minus.
I could agree with a B.
I would give it probably a B as well.
I think
okay. So it's gonna get a B then. It's almost certain it's gonna get a B. So I'm gonna put a B on that.
You know why I give it a B?
Why?
Because it wasn't Tyler the Creator. It was everybody else.
Wow.
Featuring Tyler the Creator.
But he did all the production. He did so he made all the beats, and then he had plenty. He didn't have as much vocals on this album.
Do you know who that sounds like?
Who?
DJ Khaled.
You were gonna say that shit. I knew you were gonna say DJ
definitely
Khaled.
had way more. He had way more vocals than a DJ Khaled.
That's not fair though. That's not fair.
It doesn't matter.
DJ Khaled.
It's not because I fucking hate DJ Khaled, but when I see an artist's album like Tyler the Creator, who I've been listening to, and I know he can rap, when I press play, I want to hear that artist.
But Tyler,
I don't want to hear Uncle Charlie. I did not come for Uncle Charlie for the whole damn song.
He's always had an affinity for that sound, that the older generation of music and production. So like he doesn't really like rapping, but he knows he can't sing, so he doesn't sing. Typically, he's kind of grown more into his own with like effects and things like that. So it's like not so terrible, but overall his thing is like production. He'll rap a little bit here and there and then like try to sing to some degree or whatever, but
I definitely commend him for his creativity and the artistry of this album. That's why I'm giving him a B.
Yeah, that's the only thing that saved him for me.
Lost Boy, what do you guys say? I would say A.
I'll say A too.
No, I didn't listen to it.
All right, so I'll just divide this by 3. What do you say, DJ?
You can already just go ahead and give it an A.
Okay.
I'd say that it's a great introduction to YBN Cordae.
Absolutely.
You know what? Just because it's YBN Cordae and I know what he's capable of, I'll just give it a B. For like a leap of faith.
Like average to an A. All right. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have heard this album at all, but I heard Funhouse Mirror. I'm gonna give that an A for sure too, at least.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah, I didn't get.
What about you, DJ? Did you hear it?
I heard snippets of it. It's definitely not my thing, but I'd give it a listen again, but it's not really like something I'd go for. I definitely would probably give it like a C or a B, to be honest.
Oof. We're gonna go for the B, all right. So
wow,
we're gonna go for that B real quick. So we're just gonna say we're gonna give it a B. Everything for Sale by Boogie. I don't think you guys have heard that either, have you?
I'll give it a B plus.
You can omit
I'd give it a B too at least. You say B too, DJ?
You can omit my idea because I haven't heard that.
Oh, okay, all right. What about you, Sonny? You haven't heard it either?
Yeah, I didn't.
All right, that'll average out to a B then. Thank you. Next, Ariana Grande. My opinion will not matter because I have not heard a single song from this album.
Bullshit. You bullshit.
On him,
you haven't heard.
I've only heard people say "Thank You Next." I've never heard the song "Thank You Next."
How about Seven Rings?
Nope, Haven't heard a single song from her.
Isn't Tears Left to Cry on that album?
I don't know.
I think No Tears Left to Cry is on the album.
Because I never had the opportunity to play the radio because my as soon as I get into my truck and like drive for those long distances I drive, it automatically connects to my phone. So I'm either listening to a podcast or I'm listening to music that I chose.
Okay, well, I'll give Thank You next. Probably I would say a C.
A C? Wow. Oh, wow. It's a lot lower than I thought you were going to say.
It's probably maybe C plus or B minus. Somewhere okay, so I'll just go with C.
What about you, Sam?
I'll give it an A.
An A? Ooh.
It was my top one. It's like that. I really like it. Like, I'm going to give it an A.
What about you, DJ?
Listening to most of the tracks, I mean, it's pop. It's Ariana. You know what you're getting for her. I think from a pop perspective, it's definitely what you expect. So I'd say probably a C. It's nothing that blows my mind.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be terrible. She got a C then. All right. Lil Nas X 7 EP. I'm pretty sure we all heard this, so we can all give our opinions on this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. I thought this was it's a short project, but it's good though. It definitely sounds good. I'd give it at least a B.
Yeah, I agree. I'll give it a B plus. Creativity. He showed his range.
I wish we could hear a little bit more so that we could have heard like more rappability, but I definitely like the direction he took with like the difference in style for all the songs, and then like some pretty decent features too for sure.
I'd give him a C.
I would definitely go for a C. So, I liked it, but it wasn't anything like I said before that kind of blew my mind.
So 2 B's and 2 C's.
Yep.
That's probably not going to average out very well. He barely made it to a B if you round up. Next, The Big Day by Chance the Rapper.
I'll go ahead and go first on this one. I would like to say, I mean, it's unfortunate, but I definitely would say either a C or a D, just because I was disappointed. Not because of the fact that I love
my wife.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love Chance, and I love.
Hopefully,
acid.
You love your wife too.
Yeah, I love acid rap. I love fucking all the albums he's come up with to date. I have enjoyed, but this one as a disappointment.
I agree with DJ, like 100%. I'm not even gonna give him the grace of having a C. He just gets a D from me.
Ooh. Oh my gosh.
I would give him a C. And I really liked the album, but also it wasn't spectacular Chance. It was good. It was Chance. And I'm
tired of hearing y'all asking me where's the next album.
Yeah, that's what it seems like. That's exactly what it sounds like.
I'm gonna give him a B just to be nice because I did enjoy the album personally.
Wow.
It's a placeholder.
But
this is a placeholder album.
I feel like I have enjoyed it more than other people have. I have a couple other tracks on my playlist.
I enjoyed it too, but I will be honest and give him a C.
So I mean, I don't know. I couldn't give him a C for that. I'd say at least a B. Let's average out to a 2 anyway. So he's gonna get a C. So
you can skip the next one.
Yeah, you can skip the next one.
We'll see.
We have to discuss it. All right, I'll say it.
We the second best.
So are we collectively giving this the trash tier then?
Except I guess Daniel.
Collectively, doesn't even deserve a grade. Okay,
trash tier. Even if Daniel was here to vote, even if you gave it an S, it's still going to average out to 0. So
the funny part is, remember how I said this is when your teacher puts a test on your upside down?
Mm-hmm.
This is you walking into class and your parents are sitting down at the teacher's desk.
Oh my God.
This is a whole parent-teacher conference.
Oh no.
Man, we're gonna have to move your son into that other room. Oh, he's moving classes? No. He's moving to the other room.
Classes.
Oh my God. That album just was not good to me. The remix with SZA, the song with Nipsey was cool. It definitely wasn't my favorite feature of Nipsey that I've heard this year. There was nothing that struck me on that album personally.
And he continues to be a shit person.
Yeah, that too. Next on the list, a rapper go to the league. I haven't listened to this album in a while. I gave it the first listen, and then I didn't actually add any of the songs to my playlist. I feel like I need to go back and do that. But based off the first listen I gave it, I want to say I'll give it at least a 2, or at least a C.
A 2? Damn, we doing some new rankings here.
Hey, I'll give it a C. I haven't heard it in a minute.
Yeah, same.
I don't think I've heard it at all, so I can't say anything.
All right, Sonny, you didn't hear it? What about you, DJ?
For me, like you guys have both said, it's been a while. But I would say that as far as a 2 Chainz album, I really don't listen to 2 Chainz. I don't fuck with them that much. But I kind of enjoyed it. It was all right.
Oh wait, this was the 2 Chainz album. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rapper Go to the League.
oh, I didn't know what the title of the album was. I did skim that this morning, and I couldn't.
Well, you don't like
hated
2
it.
Chainz anyways, so.
Oh yeah,
2
that's all I'm
Chainz.
saying. I don't really fuck with 2 Chainz.
So I'd give him a D. I'd give him a D.
What about you?
I was gonna say I'd agree with y'all with a C.
Okay, all right. The whole average out to a C then.
Yeah, you get to see.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind by Logic. I'll start by saying, for a while, Logic had got really repetitive for me, and I've kind of, me and Daniel have had multiple conversations about Logic and like new rappers and stuff. But with this album, I thought it did a good job of him like not saying the same shit that he says over and over again. Mental health, I'm half white and half black, guys.
So I want to stop you right there, sir.
What?
He may not have said that, but he, in typical Logic fashion, his album was about complaining about other people.
That's true.
How they
That's
treat
true,
him.
I think
He has the Taylor Swift effect. How all Taylor Swift's hit songs about how guys are breaking up with her, or how other female artists don't like her. Logic has made his career off of I'm half white, nobody likes me, and now my wife wanted me to quit music, so I got a divorce, and nobody still likes me.
So what you're saying is he doesn't love his wife.
I guess.
For me though, like I said, I enjoyed the album. It was good. I gave it a couple listens. Have some of the songs on my playlist. I'd probably give this album a B.
I'm gonna give it a C.
Okay.
The disrespect.
I was gonna say a D, but I think it's better than 2 Chainz, so I'll give it a C.
What about you, Sam?
I give it a B.
Okay.
Only because the song with Eminem.
Homicide. For me, I'm a huge Logic fan, and even though this is my second. This is my number 2 for the year. So I definitely would probably give it an A or an S just because I'm biased on it. But
Which one do you want to say? A or S? A? All right.
Just because it's not in the league of the obvious top.
Averages out to a B. So, I mean, he's there. He's up there. You know, it's like midway through the list, but, you know, he's there. Next is The Search by NF. Phenomenal album. Rapidy raps, for sure. Can't hear the Eminem, but I mean, whatever. That's just my complaint, but I'd for sure, at minimum, give it a B. It was solid, for sure.
I give it an A.
I give him a B. Sometimes he comes off angry and preachy to me.
I could agree with that, but I feel like
he just comes off angry and preachy, and sometimes it ruins my mood.
Interesting.
I can feel that. I think if it were me, I'd also give it an A. I like his flow. I like NF's flow.
For sure.
And whenever he starts getting into a rhythm and gets into his flow, I like it. I'd say that's an A.
Ooh, shit, he rounded up to an A. Nice. Way to go, NF. You up there on the board, boy. All right. More than 120 copies sold? Shoot. Doing things, boy.
Wow.
Made it on the high point of a tier list. Oh, he out here living big. 'Cause I Love You by Lizzo is next.
S.
Wow.
S tier.
That is my number 1.
Hey,
okay.
And Sam also said that too.
That Truth Hurts. I could bang that shit all day.
Oh yeah.
I do. I do.
I give her a B. I liked it for sure. It was enjoyable. It's not like my go-to type of music, but I definitely liked the songs that I heard.
I would go A for it. I liked it as well. Definitely wouldn't go S, but I'd go A.
Hey, my thing with Lizzo is confidence. She's doing her damn thing. She don't look like everybody else.
For sure.
Don't talk like everybody else.
That averages out to an A. All right. She up there. She up there too, right next to NF. Right next to NF and YB and Corday. Ooh, she up there. She up there, boy. Next one is, even though this album isn't out yet, but we have a bunch of songs from it anyway. Joyner Lucas's ADHD. From what we've heard so far from him, what would you guys give him? I would probably give him
S.
Wow. Okay. All right. He said that. All right. I'm gonna give him a B because he is, for me, Joyner Lucas is suffering from the same thing Logic has. He's brilliant. They're both brilliant minds. I can never take away their rap ability or like their lyricism, their skills to come up with different ways to say the same thing over and over again. But like, for me, both of them are kind of getting stale. You know, I need I'm gonna need some change. I'm gonna need some real, like different beats, different styles, different flows, different just scheme all around. But I mean, like overall, I can't ever say give a bad rating to something that is like about, opening your mind, thought provoking, giving you real good like messages, overall. So I'll probably give him an A.
You know what? I was gonna give him an S until you said something, and it made me realize, yes, he does the same shit as Logic. So in good faith, I can't give him an S because it's true. He does say the same shit all over again.
Yeah.
But also, I think he is a much better artist than Logic, especially with storytelling and shit like that. So I'm gonna give him an A.
His dual perspective is on fucking point for sure.
I'm just gonna give him an A. He's a much better artist.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Sonny? Have you heard it or heard the songs?
I've heard some songs. I think I'd give him a B.
Okay.
So to kind of back up my claim for the S, like I said, if it came out right now and I heard the remaining tracks, it definitely would jump over Logic's album. And with you guys saying how much he's like Logic, I guess it's kind of biased for me because I like Logic and they're both. I mean, ISIS was a good song, all right? Yeah. I can't really say anything about it.
Double Work was good too, for sure. Yeah. They don't put out bad music. It's just like we've heard this from you before, or like something similar to this. You know what I mean? Like I definitely like.
Once you heard one, you've heard them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of makes you think that it makes you think about it. Do you want people like I know that music's all about changing and about
evolving,
being new, giving new perspectives, and obviously speaking to your fans in a way that you know how. Like I would rather hear. Like if Logic stayed true to how he was in the past and he is now, it's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I don't want someone to make a drastic change that completely changes their image as an artist.
True.
I feel that. I understand that. It does make it hard when you hear the same shit over. It does get old.
Yeah. I can agree with that though.
But I understand. Yeah, that's what the fans are expecting. That's what the fans want. That's why they're your fans.
Well,
so it's kind of hard to just throw a
But
curveball.
I also feel like if I want to get preached at, I'll just go to church. Also.
Or you'll just listen to NF.
Or listen to NF. Exactly.
All right. Let's just congratulate Joyner. He's made it to an A, and his album isn't even out yet. So, maybe with the rest of the album, when the rest of the tracks drop, maybe it'll change. Maybe that'll change.
So we have 4 A's right now?
We have like 5 A's, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. We have 4. You're correct. You are right, and I'm wrong, sir. We have 1 trash. We have 3 C's, and we have a handful of B's, and then 1 S. And then we also still have one more album real quick, Death Race for Love, that DJ mentioned, and I also mentioned that I have never listened to that album. So,
for real?
With that being said, yes, I've never listened to the album. The newest song that I listened to from Juice WRLD was not Lucid Dreams. What's the one he made about Lil Peep and X when they died?
I don't remember off the top of my head, to be honest.
He made a song, and I like that song, and it's in my playlist, and I listen to it from time to time. But I have not listened to anything new from Juice WRLD. Like, I know he just came out on a remix with Ransom, or on the Ransom remix with Lil Tecca featuring Juice WRLD. I don't care. I heard like the freestyles he does, and I see them like on Instagram or whatever. Like that's fun, it's cool, but I don't really go to Juice WRLD like for new music, like actual sound, like. Oh, let me add this song from Juice WRLD to my playlist. So I'm not going to I don't have an opinion because I've never heard it. But what about you guys?
I have skimmed it, and I would give it a D.
Oh, All right. Let me write that up there.
I say I'll give it a solid B.
Okay. All right. Is this kind of varying? I'm surprised actually a little bit by that, Sam. You care to...
Why?
Well, I feel like you don't really... I don't want to say you don't fuck with new artists like that, but I mean, like, I'm surprised that you rated him that high and that you were ready to, and I think you rated NF the same thing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just surprised by that, I guess, more or less, because I feel like...
Well, I'm also a person, I'm not going to deny when something's good. Either way, how I feel off of it. Juice WRLD doesn't do anything weird.
Yeah, that's true.
His music's good music, and he sometimes makes sad boy music.
I love
as Sonny calls it.
I should definitely listen to it if it's sad boy music. But I heard
it's not all sad boy music.
Taylor calls it, so that's what I.
Oh yeah, Taylor calls it. Well, I haven't heard Taylor refer to it as sad boy music
because you weren't here last episode.
Yeah. But it's all in your mood,
Yeah,
like for sure. If you want to cry, just put on an album of like a playlist of Sam Smith and and Bruno Mars, and you'll be crying. Like that's what you do.
Oh man, talking
If
about
you
catching
Well,
grenades.
not new Bruno Mars, maybe old
yeah,
Bruno
old
Mars.
Bruno Mars. If you want to get fucking pumped up, play some DMX, 36 Mafia.
I mean, if you want
Like
to get
that shit.
If you want to kill somebody, put on
Oh my
Billy.
God.
Yeah,
Can we
exactly.
never bring up a 6ix9ine song ever again, please? My goodness. Then you're the last one, DJ, to vote on this.
So Death Race was the bottom of my list. That's the top out of the top 5. I'd probably give that one the 5. So I'd say I'd probably give it a solid B minus. So a B.
All right, so I'm pretty sure that's going to average out to a C.
Well, with that D in there, that shit throws it all out of whack.
Did not like any of it.
Oh man, yeah, I get a solid as snake. No, I'm just a solid C. That's what I got. All right, so we have just to top off or to end the list, we have Death Race for Love by Juice WRLD as a C. ADHD, that's not even out yet, by Jordan Lucas is an A. Cause I love you by Lizzo, an A. The Search by an F, an A. Confessions of a Dangerous Mind by Logic, a B. Rap or Go to the League by 2 Chainz, a C. Father of Assad by DJ Khaled, trash tier. The Big Day by Chance the Rapper, a C. I'm kind of shocked by that still, but anyway, 7 by Lil Nas X, got a B. Thank You Next by Ariana Grande, got a C. Everything for Sale by Boogie, got a B. Funhouse Mirror by Marlon Craft, got a B. YB and Corday with Lost Boy, got an A. Igor by Tyler the Creator, got a B. It's a fucking crime against humanity. Revenge of the Dreamers 3 by Dreamville, got an S. That's the only S tier we have, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have anything in the D tier either, I just realized. But I mean, hey, fuck it, right?
Yeah, because DJ Khaled automatically skipped all grades and just like got sent to the.
You didn't even say like
Realm.
D tier, F tier. You said trash.
Like that's just
We went from
trash.
letters to trash.
I don't think there was a D tier because it's so, like the interests
Yeah, for sure.
are somewhat similar. So,
Well,
but,
and because
you know,
if we're all doing our top 5, then it makes it hard to get things rated that
That's
low.
true. Except for DJ,
Unless you absolutely
Yeah.
hate other people's
And like we
music.
for sure.
Yeah, like we said before, this is the top 5. So even though we're saying DJ Khaled's album is trash, even though it is utter garbage, doesn't mean that it's the worst album of 2019.
That's
Definitely
for sure.
means that it's in our list
I don't
specifically.
know,
It's
probably
just
one
the
of the
worst
worst
one.
of
The worst of the
I don't
top.
know what else is worse.
This
And
year.
that crime against humanity on that Miss Jackson remix.
Oh my God, yeah. So anyway, that wraps up this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys got some nice little album picks and albums from 2019 that you may or may not have heard so far, and you may agree or disagree with our list. If you agree, give us a like. Be like, oh yeah, I fuck with your guys' list. I hella like it. If you don't like it, fuck off. It's our opinion.
Throw your own list out there. Let's hear what you got to say.
Telling everybody
Let's hear what you like.
is my thing. I know I haven't been here for like 3 weeks, but
Hey, he had to pick up the slack. You've been gone for a while, man.
But yeah, be sure to follow us on all our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're always posting all the links to the different platforms that we play on, which are Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also help support us on Patreon, and we also have a website that we also consistently update, and we'll respond to any inquiries that you guys have in the future too. We keep saying this, but definitely in the future we'll have some merch for you guys. We have a logo, as you can see on our social media platforms, and we have some cool little images for you guys coming up here shortly too. That wraps it up for this episode. We'll catch you guys next time.